Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a story that begins with a ray of sunshine and takes us through a whirlwind of emotions. Picture this: a brave and compassionate woman named Margarita, who, after facing the painful abandonment by her partner, finds herself in a heartwarming act of kindness. Pregnant and alone, she rescues an injured man, Daniel, and takes him to the hospital. Little did she know, this act of selflessness would lead her into a dramatic and emotional journey. As Margarita's life seems to be unfolding with a glimmer of hope and a newfound job, she is confronted with heart-wrenching betrayal and the harsh realities of her situation. What begins as a hopeful act of kindness soon spirals into a suspenseful struggle involving a mysterious kidnapping and a fight for justice. Join us as we delve into Margarita's powerful story, a tale of courage, heartbreak, and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Don't miss a moment of this roller coaster ride of emotions. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. After her husband had callously walked out on her, leaving her alone and pregnant, a woman with a heart full of compassion selflessly extended a helping hand to a stranger in need. She found an injured man in dire straits and took it upon herself to rush him to the nearest hospital, demonstrating a profound act of kindness amid her turmoil. The following morning, as the sun cast its first light over her modest home, she was astonished to find a solemn procession of black cars lined up neatly in front of her house, an unusual and unexpected sight that piqued her curiosity and unease. Meanwhile, in the bustling mechanic shop nestled in the vibrant town of San Miguel de Allende, Margarita, a dedicated and skilled young mechanic, was immersed in her work with unwavering focus and determination. Her hands, smeared with grease and grime, worked tirelessly beneath the hood of a car. The rhythmic sound of her tools and the steady hum of machinery surrounded her, creating a symphony of industry and resolve. Margarita's dedication was palpable. She was lost in the intricate dance of her trade, her spirit unyielding despite the physical demands. Diego, a fellow mechanic and colleague, approached her, his curiosity piqued by her early arrival and fervent work ethic. His voice, laced with genuine concern, broke through her concentration. "Hi Margarita, I see you're hard at work on this car. What's going on?" He extended an offer of assistance, his voice carrying a note of camaraderie. Margarita looked up, her face glowing with a mixture of relief and satisfaction. She straightened up, her brow gleaming with sweat, and responded with a warm, appreciative smile. "Hi Diego, I've just wrapped things up here. Thanks for asking. There was a glitch with the ignition system, but I replaced the spark plugs, and it's running smoothly now. I'm about to wash up and grab a coffee. I brought some homemade tortillas from last night if you'd like to try them." She stood there, oil-stained and holding a rag and screwdriver, a testament to her hard work and dedication. Diego's eyes sparkled with admiration as he complimented her, his words carrying a blend of admiration and flirtation. "Margarita, you're nothing short of incredible. You fix cars, make tortillas, and still manage to look stunning. It's such a pity I'm already married. If you're seeing someone, he must be one lucky guy. A remarkable woman like you deserves all the appreciation in the world." Margarita let out a wistful sigh, her voice tinged with a touch of resignation as she sipped her steaming coffee. "Oh, men, they're all the same. It starts with grand gestures and sweet talk, and then they vanish without a trace." Just as she finished speaking, a car rolled in, signaling the arrival of another customer. She bid Diego farewell with a cheerful whistle and dove back into her work. Despite the daily challenges, Margarita's love for her craft remained unwavering. She thrived on the stories of her clients and the surprises that each day brought. Raised in the serene countryside and nurtured by her grandfather after losing her mother at a tender age, Margarita learned the art of mechanics from the man who was both her guardian and mentor. Eager to carve out new opportunities, she ventured into the city and started working as a waitress. Though it wasn't her ultimate dream, it was a stepping stone toward her aspirations. It was during this time that she met Jorge, a strikingly handsome visual artist who frequented the cafe where she worked. Their daily interactions were charged with magnetic energy, and Margarita often found herself blushing subtly as she served him. "Every time you walk through the door, Margarita, you bring a little sunshine into my day," Jorge said one afternoon as she handed him a coffee with milk. His voice was warm and filled with genuine affection. "Your smile lights up this cafe like the first light of dawn." Margarita's cheeks flushed with a shy yet radiant smile. "Thank you, Jorge. It's always a pleasure to see you too." On Wednesday, Jorge surprised her with a gesture that felt like a scene from a romantic movie. He appeared with a bouquet of delicate pink daisies, his eyes sparkling with a charming smile as he handed them to her. "These are for you, Margarita. They remind me of your beauty. And I was wondering if you'd like to join me for an art exhibition. I have 2 exclusive tickets." Margarita's heart fluttered with excitement and anticipation. "I'd love to go, Jorge. I've never been to an art exhibition before, and I'm sure it will be a wonderful experience." Thus began their enchanting romance. Jorge made it a point to walk Margarita home and greet her after work, and their time together in the cafe became filled with joyous laughter and profound conversations. Margarita found herself dreaming of a future entwined with Jorge's, her heart full of hope and anticipation. Yet destiny had different plans in store. A few months into their relationship, Margarita discovered she was expecting twins. With a blend of joy and trepidation, she decided to share the news with Jorge that very night. "Jorge, I'm pregnant with twins," she said, her eyes shimmering with a mixture of excitement and vulnerability. Jorge's reaction was one of shock and hesitation. "Twins? That's a lot to take in. I don't know what to say, Margarita. Are you serious about this?" "Yes, there are children," Margarita said, her voice carrying a hopeful undertone. "We need to think about getting married soon before people start talking." Jorge appeared distant, lost in his thoughts. "It's all happening so fast, Margarita. I need time to think about it." From that moment on, Jorge became a mere shadow of the man Margarita once knew. He ceased visiting the cafe, and his calls and messages grew infrequent and then stopped altogether. Margarita felt an overwhelming sense of abandonment and confusion. Her distress deepened when a friend delivered devastating news. "Margarita, I saw Jorge at a restaurant yesterday. He was with another woman, and they were holding hands and laughing together." Margarita could hardly believe the words. "No, it can't be true," she whispered, her heart aching with disbelief. "Jorge wouldn't do this to me." Despite her disbelief, a seed of doubt had been sown. Determined to uncover the truth, Margarita set out to find Jorge. She spotted him emerging from an upscale building, hand in hand with a sophisticated, unfamiliar woman. Overcome with a surge of emotion, Margarita confronted them immediately. "Jorge, how could you betray me like this?" "I'm carrying your twins," she demanded, her voice trembling with hurt and anger. Jorge, visibly frightened, attempted to placate her. "Margarita, please let me explain. This is Olivia, my fiancée. My family arranged this engagement. It's a complicated situation." "You're engaged?" Margarita was stunned, her world unraveling before her eyes. "What about our children?" Jorge turned away, unable to meet her gaze. I don't know. Maybe you should figure things out on your own. I'm not your husband. Please don't make a scene. You could consider terminating the pregnancy before." His voice trailed off, leaving Margarita with a profound sense of betrayal and despair. Before Margarita had a chance to respond, the tall, blonde woman stepped forward with an air of entitlement and irritation. "Jorge, who is this? What does she want here?" Margarita's eyes welled with tears as the argument between Jorge and the woman escalated. Overcome with despair and heartache, she fled from the scene, her steps quickening as she distanced herself from the painful reality she had just confronted. The realization struck her like a thunderbolt. Jorge was far from the man she had believed him to be. Now, facing an uncertain future alone, her only source of strength was her resolve to be strong for the twin she was carrying. The days following the confrontation felt like a relentless storm of defeat and humiliation. Margarita was engulfed by a profound sadness and exhaustion that kept her away from work, drowning in the weight of her emotions. At home, her days were marked by a torrent of tears, her thoughts consumed with the impossibility of Jorge's suggestion. The idea of terminating her pregnancy seemed unbearable, and the prospect of navigating this ordeal alone left her grappling with fear and uncertainty. Could she possibly care for these children on her own? The enormity of the challenge loomed large, casting a shadow over her every thought. Amid her despair, Maria, her steadfast best friend, knocked urgently on her door, her face etched with concern. "Margarita, are you all right? I need a remedy for my son. He's running a high fever." Upon seeing Margarita's condition, Maria was taken aback. "What happened to you?" Through her sobs, Margarita recounted the painful details of her encounter with Jorge, the news of her pregnancy, and the heart-wrenching confrontation with Jorge and his fiancée. Maria listened with a furrowed brow, her disapproval evident as she shook her head in sympathy. "That's just awful, Margarita. But what are you going to do now?" "I don't know," Margarita replied, her voice heavy with despair. "I think I've lost my job at the cafe. Maybe I should just go back to the countryside. I want to hide away. How will I survive?" Maria pondered for a moment before speaking. "Returning there isn't the answer. You learned so much about cars from your grandfather, didn't you? Why not try your hand at working in the mechanic shop? They're hiring, and it would be nice for me to have another woman around. Just keep the fact that you're pregnant, especially with twins, to yourself for now." Margarita wiped away her tears, her expression a mixture of surprise and gratitude. "Do you think I could do it? I've always been good with cars." "Absolutely," Maria reassured her. "Come with me tomorrow. I'll introduce you to Johanna, the owner. She's tough but fair, and I think you'll fit right in." The following day, Margarita accompanied Maria to the mechanic shop. Johanna, initially skeptical, was soon impressed by Margarita's knowledge and skill. Margarita demonstrated her proficiency with various car models and proved herself to be a highly competent professional. "You're fantastic," Margarita Johanna admitted with genuine admiration. "Welcome to the team." Embracing her new job, Margarita felt a renewed sense of purpose. Engaging with clients and tackling mechanical challenges offered a welcome distraction from her pain and breathed new hope into her life. Maria remained a pillar of emotional support, helping Margarita prepare for the arrival of her babies. "You're incredibly strong, Margarita. You're going to be a wonderful mother," she encouraged, her words a beacon of hope amidst the storm. Margarita gently rested her hand on her swelling belly, a soft smile playing on her lips. "I'm going to do it, friend. For my children I will be." Thus began a new chapter in Margarita's life, one defined by unwavering determination and the comforting strength found in the solidarity and support of those who truly cared for her. Her journey took an unexpected turn when she was assigned to deliver a freshly repaired car to a client located far from the bustling city. Despite the demanding nature of Johanna's mechanic shop, Margarita thrived in the supportive environment created by her colleagues, particularly Maria. "I think this car is ready for delivery," Maria remarked as she made the final tweaks. "Yes, it's in perfect condition now. I'll drive it to the client." "The journey will be a good test for it," Margarita replied, wiping her greasy hands on a rag. The open road beckoned, offering a rare moment of freedom as she navigated through serene, quiet roads. However, her peaceful drive was interrupted as ominous dark clouds began to gather on the horizon, signaling a change in weather. As Margarita neared her destination, an unexpected sight caught her eye: a man stumbling at the roadside, his clothes caked in dirt and his injuries evident. Without a moment's hesitation, Margarita stopped the car and rushed to his aid. "Are you all right? What happened to you?" she asked urgently, her heart racing with concern. The man, barely able to speak, gasped, "Help, please." Margarita didn't think twice. "I'll take you to the hospital." She helped the injured man into the car, her mind racing as she sped towards the nearest hospital. The scene was chaotic, with the man's severe leg wound adding to the urgency. Margarita, though overwhelmed, kept her composure and provided the medical staff with crucial information. While waiting for updates, she offered silent prayers for his recovery, her heart heavy with the gravity of the situation. After what felt like an eternity, a doctor finally approached her with the news. "He's stable now. He lost a significant amount of blood, but we managed to treat his injuries. With some rest, he'll be all right." Margarita exhaled in relief. "Thank you, doctor." The man, now conscious and weak, looked at her with profound gratitude. "Thank you for your help. I don't know how I can ever repay you." "You don't need to," Margarita said softly. "I just did what I felt was right." Later that evening, Margarita returned home, exhausted but with a deep sense of fulfillment. As she prepared for bed, she reflected on her day's events. Despite the trials she had faced, she found comfort in knowing she had made a significant impact on someone's life. Her future remained uncertain, but with the backing of her friends and her new job, she felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. She knew she had the inner strength to tackle whatever lay ahead. The next morning, Margarita was jolted awake by a persistent knocking on her door. She opened it to find 3 impeccably dressed men standing on her doorstep. The eldest, radiating an air of authority, entered without waiting for an invitation. "Good morning. You must be Margarita. Yesterday you saved my son." "I am eternally grateful," he said, placing an envelope filled with money on the table. Margarita, taken aback and confused about how the man had tracked her down, tried to decline the gesture. "There's no need. I just did what I thought was right." The man, appearing somewhat uncomfortable, continued, "My son was kidnapped. He managed to escape and was trying to find his way home. He mentioned something to me. I need you to tell me what he said." Margarita shook her head, barely able to speak. "He only mentioned his name was Daniel." The man gave a faint smile. "Thank you once more. Accept this money as compensation for the trouble with your boss." After the men departed, Margarita's gaze fell upon the line of luxury cars outside her home. She felt a growing sense of unease. Something about the situation didn't sit right with her. Why was there such intense interest in what Daniel had said? How did the man know about her troubles with Johanna? The entire encounter left Margarita with a deep sense of foreboding and a determination to uncover the truth behind this mysterious and unsettling situation. The next day, Margarita arrived at the hospital with a bouquet, eager to see Daniel. However, she was met with a cold and disheartening refusal. "Why can't I visit him?" Margarita asked, her voice trembling with confusion and determination. "I just want to know how he is." "I'm sorry, Mom," the hospital representative said with a dismissive tone. "The patient, Daniel Torres, is in critical condition and has been placed in an induced coma. He is in the intensive care unit and we cannot allow visits. It's a matter of his safety and health." Margarita's frustration mounted. But how is this possible? He was just injured. How could he fall into a coma so suddenly? The man's impatience was palpable. "I am not authorized to discuss patient details with non-family members. His father is handling the situation." Feeling defeated, Margarita turned to leave. Just then, Lucia, a receptionist she had noticed earlier, intercepted her in an empty corridor. Lucia spoke in hushed tones, her voice filled with urgency and fear. "It's not as they're saying. You're the boy's girlfriend, right? He's not really in a coma. They've kept him sedated, and I don't know why. The man who claims to be his father paid a large sum to the hospital chief. Daniel should be okay now, but they're keeping him here against his will. Please. Don't tell anyone I told you this. I could lose my job." Margarita's mind raced. "I have to do something. I can't leave Daniel here," she thought, her sense of justice overpowering her fear and exhaustion. That night, she barely slept, her mind consumed with the urgency of the situation. The next morning, Margarita resolved to act. "I have to save Daniel," she thought, wrestling with her fears. The police seemed too risky given the man's apparent power. Then she remembered Lucia and decided to reach out again. She arranged a discreet meeting at a nearby cafe, hoping Lucia could help. Lucia arrived looking apprehensive. "What's the plan?" she asked nervously. Margarita, her voice laden with urgency, replied, "I know this is risky, but I need your help to get Daniel out of the hospital. I've come up with a plan, but I can't do it alone. Can you assist me in getting him out without being noticed?" Lucia looked around anxiously before nodding. "This is dangerous, but I agree it's the right thing to do. We need a solid plan and must act quickly." Margarita, her resolve firm, responded, "Let's do it. It's Daniel's only chance." Lucia, with a hint of fear, asked, "What will we do with him once he's out?" "I'm worried about retaliation." Margarita's expression softened with understanding. "I'll take him to my house for now. We have no other option. When he wakes up, he might tell us more about what happened." "Are you sure about this? It's a big risk for someone you don't even know." Lucia, though concerned, replied, "It's a risk I have to take. I can't explain it, but I can't leave him in that place. We'll get him out on Thursday night." As the days leading up to the plan passed, Margarita struggled to concentrate at work, the looming operation filling her with anxiety. What if something goes wrong? What if he doesn't wake up? What will I do? She pondered. Yet she knew she couldn't turn back. On the chosen night, Margarita's heart raced as she donned the robe Lucia had provided and drove to the hospital. When she arrived at the intensive care unit, Lucia was already there, waiting with a stretcher. Together, they carefully transported Daniel, covering him with a sheet to avoid detection. The hallway was eerily quiet as Margarita's prayers for a smooth escape went unanswered. They managed to get Daniel into the car without being seen, their hearts pounding with both fear and hope. Back home, Margarita reached out to Maria, her best friend and neighbor. "Maria, please, I need you." "It's urgent," Margarita pleaded over the phone. Maria arrived, her expression a mix of concern and surprise. "Margarita, what's going on? Who is this man?" "I can't explain right now," Margarita said urgently. "I just need you to trust me." Maria, though hesitant, agreed to help. Together they carried Daniel inside and placed him on Margarita's sofa. "I trust you," Maria said, her voice laced with worry. "But please, don't involve me anymore in this. I have a family to take care of." "I understand," Margarita replied gratefully. "Thank you for your help. You're a great friend." As Maria left, Margarita felt the weight of the situation bearing down on her. She knew the next few hours were crucial. She checked Daniel's breathing and, with a deep sigh of relief, settled down beside him. Exhausted and overwhelmed, tears of worry streamed down her face. "My God, what a dangerous situation I've gotten into," she thought. "This is so risky. And if that man finds me, what will happen to me and Daniel? I'm alone in this. My life feels like a suspense movie, but at least I managed to save a life. That's something." My children will be proud of me." The following morning, Daniel began to regain consciousness. He blinked around, disoriented. "Where am I?" Margarita, with a faint smile, replied, "It's me, but we have a lot to talk about. You can't imagine the situation we're in now." She told Daniel everything: the man who claimed to be his father, the sedatives keeping him in the hospital, and her situation, including her pregnancy and the twins. Daniel listened intently, absorbing her every word. When she finished, Daniel began to recount his own story. "He's not my father," Daniel said, his voice heavy with emotion. "My real parents were very wealthy. My father owned a car factory, and my mother was a manager. They died when I was very young, and this man took over as my guardian. He was always distant and controlling. He sent me to study abroad, and when I returned, he tried to control my every move. After discovering my father's will, which left everything to me, Fernando started threatening me. At first, it was just phone calls, but now it seems he's escalated." Margarita's eyes widened in shock. "So he was the one I was fleeing from on the road. He wants to prevent you from accessing your inheritance." "Exactly," Daniel confirmed. "I need to find that will. Fernando can't keep exploiting this situation." Margarita, realizing the gravity of the situation, said firmly, "You have to do something. Go to the police, seek help, and find that will to expose Fernando. I don't know why, but if I were in your place, I'd want someone to help me. So count on me. I'm with you." Daniel was deeply moved by Margarita's kindness and bravery. Despite the trauma of his recent ordeal, he accompanied Margarita to the prosecutor's office to share his suspicions about Fernando. "Fernando manipulated the situation to control my life." Daniel explained to the prosecutor, his frustration evident. Next, they went to the police station, where they met with the detective handling the case. The detective assured them, "We will investigate thoroughly. We'll follow every lead." Margarita stayed by Daniel's side throughout the investigation, offering unwavering support. The detective uncovered the truth about Daniel's biological family and revealed Fernando's manipulation and criminal past, including corruption and violence. With Fernando's arrest, he was left in a state of panic and began to confess to his crimes. He admitted to trying to block Daniel from claiming his inheritance and acknowledged his involvement in various criminal activities. With Fernando behind bars, the case took a positive turn. Daniel reclaimed his rightful inheritance, and Margarita felt a profound sense of relief, knowing that Daniel was finally safe. In the end, Daniel and Margarita forged a deep bond, united by their shared experiences and the danger they had faced together. Despite the challenges, Margarita found solace in knowing she had done the right thing and had helped someone in need. Her courage and sense of justice had triumphed, proving that even in the face of danger, doing the right thing brings its rewards. "Indeed, he will pay for everything he has done," Margarita said, gripping Daniel's hand. With Margarita by his side, Daniel prepared for the long legal journey ahead. He was determined to seek justice, not only for himself but also in memory of his parents. Daniel's story was one of betrayal and pain, but also bravery and the pursuit of truth. He eventually took control of his father's company and frequently visited Margarita, strengthening their friendship. It was during one of these visits that Daniel broached the subject of Margarita moving to a more comfortable place. "You really should consider moving to a better place," Margarita, Daniel said, glancing around her small apartment. Margarita laughed softly. "Daniel, I know you care, but I like it here. It's small, but it's my little corner. I just think about your comfort and the babies. Also, with your pregnancy advancing, working as a mechanic is no longer a safe option." "I can help you financially," Daniel insisted, his concern evident. Margarita sighed. "I know. I will miss that job." Despite the issues with the boss, It was more than just a job for me. You know, Daniel. He stepped closer, speaking with warmth. I understand, but now it's time to think about your health and the twins. Let me take care of you. Margarita looked at Daniel with gratitude. You do so much for me, Daniel. I don't know how to thank you. You don't need to thank me, Margarita. I just want to be by your side. You saved my life, Daniel said, holding her hand gently. And by the way, I'd love to be the godfather of the babies. Margarita's heart warmed at Daniel's proposal. Tears of gratitude filled her eyes. Of course, Daniel. It would be an honor, she replied, her voice trembling with emotion. Deep down, Margarita also harbored feelings for Daniel. There was something about him that drew her irresistibly, but she struggled to keep her emotions in check. I can't let myself fall for him. Daniel is so kind and attentive, but he deserves someone better than me, she thought one afternoon after a prenatal checkup. Later, Margarita met with Lucia, the hospital receptionist, for a catch-up at a cafe. You look so beautiful pregnant, Margarita. Tell me everything. How is your life now? Lucia asked, her curiosity evident. Margarita smiled warmly. Oh, Lucia, you wouldn't believe it. So much has happened. I feel fulfilled for having helped Daniel. I feel like I did the right thing. I'm grateful for your help. And Daniel? How is he doing? Lucia inquired, her interest piqued. Margarita's face brightened as she spoke about Daniel. He's doing well. We've been working through everything together. His situation is improving, and we're making plans for the future. He's been a great support to me, and I'm so grateful for his presence in my life. Lucia smiled, pleased to hear the positive updates. I'm glad to hear that, Margarita. It sounds like everything is turning out well. Margarita nodded, feeling a deep sense of contentment. Yes, it is, and I can't thank you enough for being there when I needed you most. He's fine. He took over the family business, and we've become very close, Margarita confessed, her voice wavering slightly with uncertainty. She was relieved to share this part of her journey with Lucia, who had been a steady source of support. Lucia's eyes softened with genuine warmth. That's wonderful news, Margarita. You deserve all the happiness in the world. And as for the twins, any man who truly loves you will embrace them as his own. Margarita nodded, feeling a flicker of hope ignite within her chest. Thank you, Lucia. Sometimes I feel so alone in all this. It's a comfort to have someone who understands. I'll always be here for you, Lucia assured her, her voice carrying a note of unwavering commitment. And as for Daniel, let things unfold naturally. I do not doubt that he has deep feelings for you. Just think about all you've risked and sacrificed for him. You're a heroine in my eyes. Encouraged by Lucia's heartfelt words, Margarita felt a renewed strength and clarity. She was ready to face whatever the future held with a fortified spirit. Her bond with Lucia deepened, and Margarita found solace in having such a supportive friend by her side. Days passed in a whirlwind of anticipation and preparation. Margarita's pregnancy progressed, and she started to feel the twins' movements more frequently. The excitement was tempered with nervousness, as she knew the time was drawing near for the twins to arrive. One evening, as Margarita was organizing baby clothes and setting up the nursery, she suddenly felt a sharp pang and a gush of warmth. Her heart raced as she realized her water had broken. Panic mingled with excitement as she quickly grabbed her phone and dialed Lucia's number. Lucia, it's happening. I'm in labor, Margarita said, her voice trembling with a mix of anxiety and urgency. Stay calm, Margarita. I'm on my way, Lucia responded with soothing confidence. Get yourself ready, and I'll handle everything from my end. Lucia immediately sprang into action, first calling Daniel. Daniel, wake up. Margarita's in labor. We need to get to her right now. Daniel's response was immediate and filled with concern. I'm on my way. Where is she?" Within moments, Daniel, Lucia, and the ambulance team arrived at Margarita's apartment. The sight of them provided Margarita with a sense of relief amidst the chaos. As the emergency team prepared to transport her to the hospital, Daniel's face was etched with worry. "She'll be all right, won't she?" "This is taking so long," Daniel asked, his voice tight with concern as he paced the hospital hallway. Lucia, trying to offer comfort, placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Daniel, it's normal for labor to take time. Everything is proceeding as it should. Margarita is in good hands. And by the way, you're in love with her, aren't you?" Daniel's face flushed with emotion, and he nodded. "Yes, I love her more than anything, but I'm not sure how to express it properly." Lucia smiled gently, her eyes filled with understanding. "It's not as complicated as it might seem. Just be there for her, show her that you care, and when the time is right, tell her how you feel. Women need to hear those words, especially when they're going through something as intense as childbirth." Daniel absorbed Lucia's advice, feeling a wave of clarity wash over him. He realized that expressing his feelings and being a pillar of support for Margarita was crucial in this pivotal moment. As he waited anxiously for news of Margarita and the twins, he was resolute in his commitment to be the partner she needed. Hours seemed to stretch on as Daniel and Lucia waited in the hospital corridor, each tick of the clock amplifying their anxiety. Finally, a nurse emerged from the delivery room with a smile. "Congratulations. Margarita has given birth to 2 healthy twins. Both mother and babies are doing well," the nurse announced, her words bringing a wave of relief and joy to Daniel. Daniel's heart soared as he turned to Lucia, gratitude and happiness shining in his eyes. "Thank you, Lucia. I couldn't have done this without you." Lucia nodded, her own eyes glistening with emotion. "I'm just glad everything turned out well. Now, go see Margarita and the babies. They need you." Daniel hurried to the recovery room, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. As he entered the room, he saw Margarita lying on the bed, looking exhausted but radiant. Beside her were the tiny twins, swaddled in blankets. "Hey," Daniel said softly, approaching Margarita's side. "You did an amazing job." Margarita looked up at him with tired but happy eyes. "Thank you, Daniel. I couldn't have done it without you and Lucia." As Daniel took Margarita's hand gently, he knew that their journey together was just beginning. With the birth of the twins, their bond was now deeper than ever, and Daniel felt more determined than ever to build a future together with Margarita. In the days that followed, Daniel was a constant presence in Margarita's life, offering support and love as they navigated the new challenges of parenthood. Their connection grew stronger, built on the foundation of their shared experiences and mutual respect. Lucia continued to be a steadfast friend, offering help and encouragement whenever needed. Margarita felt blessed to have her in her life, along with Daniel and their growing family. As they faced the future together, Margarita and Daniel knew that their love and commitment would guide them through whatever came their way. With their hearts full and their lives intertwined, they looked forward to building a life of joy and fulfillment, knowing that they had triumphed over adversity and found something truly special in each other. After a while, a nurse appeared with a smile and good news. "Congratulations to the father. Margarita gave birth to 2 healthy babies. She's tired, but both are well." Daniel felt a surge of joy and relief wash over him. "I'm not the father, but I feel as happy as if I were. 2 healthy babies, that's incredible," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. In the delivery room, Margarita, exhausted but radiant, cradled a baby in each arm. She had already decided on their names, Raphael and Juan. Each tiny face was a perfect blend of sweetness and vulnerability. As Margarita looked at them, her heart swelled with a love that felt both overwhelming and fulfilling. At that moment, Lucia gently entered the room, her eyes bright with warmth and congratulations. "Congratulations, Margarita. How are you feeling?" she asked, approaching her friend and the babies with a tender smile. Margarita's smile was as bright as ever, despite her fatigue. "I'm fine, tired but incredibly happy. Look, Lucia, they're perfect. Raphael and Juan are my little miracles." A few days later, as Daniel drove his elegant car towards the hospital, his mind was consumed with thoughts of Margarita and the twins. "Today changes our lives forever," he murmured to himself, a mix of nervousness and excitement filling his voice. In the back seat, colorful balloons floated gently, Daniel's special way of celebrating the new chapter in their lives. He rehearsed his words, his heart racing with anticipation. As he waited in the lobby, Daniel's thoughts were a whirlwind of emotions. He was about to make a heartfelt declaration, and every beat of his heart seemed to echo with the hope of a shared future. The elegant box with the ring felt heavy in his hands, symbolizing his deep commitment and the new life he envisioned with Margarita. When he finally saw Margarita, his heart skipped a beat. He approached her with a mix of eagerness and reverence. Lucia, observing the profound look of love on Daniel's face, knew that this was a moment of immense significance. "He loves Margarita," Lucia thought, her heart swelling with happiness as she helped Margarita prepare for the meeting. She smiled, eagerly anticipating Margarita's reaction to the heartfelt surprise Daniel had planned. As Margarita saw Daniel waiting, she felt a flutter of curiosity mixed with excitement. The formality and anticipation in the air made her wonder about the nature of the surprise. "Why all this formality?" she asked Lucia, her voice tinged with confusion. The pomp and circumstance were unexpected, and she was eager to understand. Lucia simply smiled, her eyes sparkling with knowing affection. "You'll see, Margarita. Daniel has something special planned for you." Margarita's curiosity grew as she approached Daniel, her heart pounding in her chest. When she was close enough, Daniel gently took her hands in his gaze locking with hers. The world seemed to fade away as he spoke from his heart. "Margarita," Daniel began, his voice steady but filled with emotion, "I want you to be my wife, and Raphael and Juan to be my children. Will you marry me?" The words felt like a melody to Margarita's ears, resonating with the depth of her feelings. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she replied, her voice trembling with heartfelt emotion. "Yes, Daniel, I accept. I love you so much." The room erupted into applause and celebration, the joyous sounds mingling with the emotional tears. The moment was truly magical, a testament to the love and commitment they had for each other. After formalizing their union, Daniel and Margarita began their new life together, embracing the challenges and joys of parenthood as a complete family. Among the laughter of the children and the shared moments of family life, Daniel and Margarita made a tacit decision not to reveal the identity of Raphael and Juan's biological father, Jorge. For Daniel, the lack of a biological connection did not diminish his love for the twins. He embraced them with all the love and dedication of a true father. "They are my boys, no matter what the DNA says," Daniel often said to Margarita, his voice full of conviction and love. Margarita would smile, her heart warmed by his words. Despite the strength of their commitment, there were moments of doubt and reflection. One evening, as she lay awake with thoughts swirling in her mind, Margarita voiced her concerns. "Do you think they will understand when they are older? Will they question who their real father is? And how will we explain this to them?" Daniel reached out, taking her hand in his with a reassuring squeeze. "Margarita, what matters most is the love and care we give them. They will know they are cherished and that we are a family. The truth will come in its own time, but our love and commitment will be the foundation they grow up on." Margarita nodded, feeling comforted by Daniel's words. Their journey was one of love, courage, and dedication, and they faced the future with a shared resolve to build a life filled with joy and togetherness for their family. Each day was a step towards a future they would shape together, grounded in their unwavering love and mutual respect. Daniel always reassured Margarita with a steady, comforting presence. "When the time comes, we'll explain everything with love and honesty. But for now, what they need is a family that loves and protects them," he said, his hands enveloping hers with a sense of unwavering commitment. The twins, Raphael and Juan, couldn't have been happier. To them, Daniel was more than just a father figure, he was a hero. He attended every soccer game, cheered at school performances, and stayed by their side on nights when nightmares disturbed their sleep. His dedication and affection created a sanctuary of safety and love for them. Margarita watched the bond between Daniel and the children with a heart overflowing with gratitude. Each smile, each hug, was a testament to the profound love that bound their family together. She often reflected on how life might have unfolded differently if Daniel hadn't come into their lives. Every moment of joy they shared was a reminder of the remarkable turn their lives had taken. Daniel made it a tradition to take Margarita and the children to art exhibitions, believing in the enrichment that art could provide. On one such outing, while they were at an exhibition, Margarita had an unexpected encounter with Jorge, her ex-boyfriend who had abandoned her upon learning about her pregnancy. Jorge, now working as a receptionist at the exhibition despite his earlier claims of being a plastic artist, seemed stunned to see Margarita. Trying to mask her surprise and inner turmoil with a controlled demeanor, Margarita addressed Jorge. "Good afternoon. We have tickets for the Diego Rivera exhibition. Could you help us with that?" Jorge's face reflected a mix of shock and disbelief as he stammered through his duties. "Margarita, is it you? You've changed so much," he said, his voice tinged with regret and astonishment. "Indeed, I've changed. Life has taught me many lessons. Now I'm married to a wonderful man and have 2 beautiful children," she replied, her smile radiant and proud, reflecting the love and contentment she now felt. Jorge's gaze shifted to the children, and he seemed at a loss for words. "I see you're doing well. I just want to apologize for the past." Margarita nodded, her expression serene and unburdened. "I appreciate your apology. I'm in a different place now, filled with love and happiness." As Jorge watched Daniel interacting with the children, he saw the genuine joy in Margarita's eyes. It became evident to him that he had missed out on something incredibly special, and a wave of regret washed over him. The rest of the exhibition was a reflective experience for Jorge. He pondered his past choices and their consequences, recognizing the impact they had on others. Meanwhile, Margarita, surrounded by her new family, felt a profound sense of closure and liberation from her past. Margarita and Daniel's life together blossomed with shared joy and mutual support. They faced each challenge as a united front, continually growing stronger through their experiences. Daniel, with Margarita's unwavering support, established a solid foundation for their family. Their story was one of healing and hope, demonstrating that even the deepest wounds could be mended by the transformative power of love. Their journey wasn't just about overcoming the past, but about building a future filled with warmth and connection. Each day with Daniel and the twins was a celebration of the love that had emerged from their shared trials and triumphs. They crafted a life together that was rich in meaning, each moment a testament to the strength and resilience of their bond. As we wrap up this heartfelt journey of Daniel and Margarita, we're reminded of the incredible power of love, resilience, and second chances. Their story is a testament to the transformative nature of true companionship, the strength found in overcoming past difficulties, and the joy that comes from embracing the present with an open heart. Throughout their experiences, we've learned that facing challenges together can forge unbreakable bonds, and that love has the power to heal even the deepest wounds. Margarita's courage, Daniel's unwavering support, and the joy of their growing family highlight the profound impact of staying true to oneself and nurturing the connections that matter most. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What lessons have you taken away from Daniel and Margarita's journey? Is there one particular insight that resonated with you and that you plan to incorporate into your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd be thrilled to hear how their story has inspired you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content that touches the heart and inspires change. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to bringing you more stories and insights that enrich and uplift you.